In 2024, human trafficking has been a crisis in Jamaica. Approximately 7 people daily fall victim to the thousands of those that are being trafficked, adding to the men, women, and children that are suffering in silence. 28 to 60 children are murdered daily through abortion in Jamaica.
I'm Christina Milford. I am the founding director, the executive director for the Pregnancy Resource Center of Jamaica. Our primary function is assisting young mothers and their babies. A lot of them threatened by happenings in life, whether abortion demand or homelessness or trafficking, that kind of stuff. So my main function is dealing with these. We have a home, Hebron House, that also we provide holistic care for those who are here, children and mothers alike. At the moment, we have children of mothers who are here, children of teenagers primarily. So in 2004, I came to Montego Bay because this is where the Lord sent me. I knew by 3 distinct signs it would be in Montego Bay that I should start the center. But before I came down, I was in Kingston. At that time, a girl called me. Well, she advertised herself on the radio, 16 years old. Beautiful girl, I met her. Brilliant girl, could tell. And she was pregnant, 4 months pregnant. At the end of her story, she had been sold by her grandmother and her aunties years before when she was 13. That's her story.
I first heard about human trafficking, I think, when I was in high school, but surprisingly, I never thought of it as that it can occur within the community, because I was always thinking that it was between countries. So you probably take a young girl from Jamaica and you bring her to Brazil or Colombia. And that was what I would normally think until I became associated with the Pregnancy Resource Center of Jamaica. And I realized that, hey, it doesn't have to be from one country to another. It's happening right here in communities.
It's something that is a growing issue in Jamaica because many of our young people want opportunity, especially to America, and then they get caught by persons who have other ideas and other motives.
When you look at that as happening and then you look in the communities, you realize that there are young girls with boyfriends, older, parents know, they don't say anything, but there are some direct benefits and some indirect benefits that, go to the home. And so right there and then you realize that this is trafficking.
These children that we are caring for now, many of them could have been trafficked if their mothers were not here and get the teaching that we've given them. And maybe if they fall into difficulties, who knows?
When I became pregnant with my first daughter, I was supposed to enter university, and it's always that societal pressure and what people think and all of that always weighs on an individual. So what I will say is that having a child is not the end, and if you've been trafficked before, if you've experienced sex trafficking, it's not the end. You can get up and you can get back your life together. It's all about commitment, and you really, really want to do it, you can do it.
The other day we were doing some training with my team in Kingston, and we were looking at, when life becomes life, and just exploring the fact that 21 days after fertilization, there is a heartbeat. There is life there. And these lives that we have are precious. The Lord is sending them for such a time as this to do that which they need to do to make the world, God's will, a better place. And so It doesn't matter what situation an individual might find themselves in being pregnant. I want to say that there is help, there is hope. This child that God has placed within you, regardless of the situation, even if it is rape, even if you're ill and you feel like you cannot carry this baby, God will not place a life in you without a reason. This child has purpose. This child has a destiny that needs to be fulfilled. Can you imagine if Moses' mother had killed him? Or Jesus' mother had said, oh no, I don't want to have a child this young. You know, we would have been without a savior.
I've had to share, and I'll share this with you, because I write poetry, and that's a part of a poetry piece that I wrote concerning my big toe. When I was a child, maybe about 8, we walked barefoot in the country, and a prickle got in my toe. And it stayed in there and festered, really got fat. I couldn't put my shoes on, and nobody could touch it. My grandfather one Sunday morning coaxed me to trust him to fix it for me. And I can remember the stool I sat on, and I saw the basin with the water, clear water, and it was warm. And he said, give me the foot, and I had to trust him very gingerly. I put it, draw it back, and I put it, and then he poured the water over it, and it helped me to relax. And then I watched him as he burned a needle point. And that should scare, but it didn't scare because I trusted him. And then he pricked the fat toe, and all that stuff that was in there oozed out, and he bathed it, I don't know what else he did, and the toe was fixed. And I've had to use that as a thing to share with my girls and children. Sometimes the wounding that they have is so great. It's painful, but I don't want anybody to touch it because not even God. I don't know if I can trust him. But as they learn that he's trustworthy, like I know my grandfather was trustworthy. He didn't want to hurt me, he wanted to fix it. So I was kind of, all right, okay, here it is. And I watched him and I trusted him and it worked. So it is when we're in pain.
Don't end the lives of these children. Give them a chance to thrive. Give them a chance to be who God has called them to be and allow God's will to be done in their lives.
If you need help with a crisis pregnancy, call us 876-322-1157. We're here to help you. We're here to support. Call us.